Green Bay Packers traveling to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football in Week 4 of the NFL. Here on Sunday, September 28, 2025. We're going to have NFL player props, parlays, spreads, totals, predictions for this game, 3 picks in the video, and a same game parlay. Let's lock in and get this sweep.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire. All my bets straight from. You're in the house that cat made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. Let's make some money here on Sunday Night Football, guys. It should be a great game. Micah Parsons returning to Dallas to take on his former team. There should be all the drama in this game, guys. Looking forward to it. We're expecting some points in this one, right? Jordan Love, Dak Prescott. Let's have a great game here. So, I don't have any results to go over for you guys. I'm recording this video obviously early, so I don't have any results from our early bets from the 1 and 4 o'clock games. But obviously we'll do our full recap on Thursday Night Football as we always do. So just keep that in mind. So as always, appreciate all of you guys, and let's get after it. Make some money. Don't forget to drop your favorite pick down below for this game. Put a star or an asterisk next to your pick, and we'll include your pick in our next video if it hits. That'll be in the Thursday night video. We'll include your pick in that. So keep that in mind. You guys have been killing it all season, so just make sure we're dropping those picks below and helping each other win. So let's get after it. And then also be sure to check out the pinned comment description as well for any links you guys are looking for here around the channel in regards to merchandise, membership, and social media links. That's all down below in the pinned comment description. Without further ado, guys, let's get this sweep and cash this same game parlay. We're going to have some fun. The parlay is plus 1,800, so we got some value there. Let's have some fun and make some money. So let's get right into our picks. At number 1, we're going with the Green Bay Packers. Minus 6.5 spread here versus the Dallas Cowboys. We got minus 115 odds on Fanatics. I actually think this is a key number, and we're getting this at a great number and a great price. The spread earlier in the week was like 7.5, so we're getting a really good number here on the Packers. That obviously that 6.5 to 7.5 is a key point because normally can win the game by 7, so on and so forth. With that being said, though, Packers should have a big advantage in this one in just about every category. Obviously the Cowboys playing without CeeDee Lamb. He's injured, so that's huge for them. Can't speak enough on how big of an injury that is. And obviously, Micah Parsons returning to Dallas. This is going to be a huge game for him as well. A lot of motivation for the Packers coming off that really tough loss to the Browns last week. You know they're itching to get back on the field and obviously make amends for that. Cowboys pretty much got embarrassed in Chicago. Defense, once again, did not show up, which that's my thinking here. I don't think this defense really has a punch in them to give, particularly on their home field. The defense, honestly, over the last few years at home is even worse. So, and Russell Wilson proved that in week 2. Russell Wilson threw for like 400, and then he got benched the next week. So that should give you an idea how bad this Cowboys defense really is. So I think the Packers, obviously, we kind of saw them in the first couple weeks of the season. We thought they were right up there with the top competition in all the NFL, certainly a top 5 team. I don't think there's been a drop-off on the Packers. I think they had a bad game. I don't think that's who they are. And this is coming from a Lions fan. They beat up on my Lions in week 1, and I don't think that was a fluke. I really don't. I think they have a very good running game. Jordan Love is taking a progression. These receivers are honestly pretty good now. They got a really solid tight end in Tucker Kraft, and their defense is also really good, and it's even better now with Micah Parsons, right? Regardless of how you feel about Parsons is still solid either way. Even if you don't think he's, all world, he's still pretty good. And he obviously still adds a lot to this Green Bay team. So I think they have a big advantage over Dallas, like I said, in just about every statistical category. And I think the motivation is certainly on their side as well with Micah Parsons. I don't see how they don't win this game by 2 touchdowns. I really don't. I would almost take this alternate because I just think it's going to be a beatdown in Dallas. Now watch it come out and this be the other way around. That happens in sports betting, but I just don't see that happen, guys. If that were to happen, that'd be strictly luck to me. It would have to be some like fluky fumbles and a bunch of crap, but I don't see that happening. Obviously, I see the Packers taking care of business. So I do love it there, guys. For number 1 pick, we're going Green Bay Packers minus 6.5 spread here versus the Dallas Cowboys. We got minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. Kane at number 2, we got Jake Ferguson. over 51.5 receiving yards here for the Dallas Cowboys. We got minus 114 odds here on FanDuel, risking unit. I actually think this line is crazy low given the situation that we got here today. Obviously, the injury to CD Lamb is obviously significant. It means more targets and potential catches here for Ferguson. And honestly, the Packers are weak versus the tight end position. This honestly works out great. Packers rank 30th in defense versus position yards allowed to tight ends. And I think the Cowboys still have enough respect to keep at the wide receiver position with George Pickens. So, teams can't over-focus on Ferguson. But even if they were to, this guy's getting so many targets, they're going to find ways to get him the ball one way or another. He's averaging 10.7 targets per game. He's averaging 13 targets per game over the last 2 weeks. So I think here, particularly in a game where I think the Cowboys could be trailing in this one and the points could be flowing, I think this is a good opportunity for Ferguson to certainly hit his over here. I think he's set up in a great position here, like I said, to hit his overs here. Last time he played the Packers, he had 93 yards receiving, so there's a lot to like there. He had 3 touchdowns, too. So, yeah, the Packers do struggle against the tight end position. I think here we'll see Ferguson, I think, go well over 50, and I think he'll also catch a touchdown as well. Like I said, a lot of shootout potential here. A lot of good history for Ferguson versus the Packers. And they're going to have to, like I said, regardless, they're going to have to rely on him. Pickens is not the guy that I don't think you can just rely on. I think it's got to be a guy like Ferguson. Ferguson's a guy that has great rapport with Dak Prescott. Over the last few years. Pickens and Dak are still working on it, right? So I think Ferguson's going to be the guy they go to, and he should at least be able to get to 52. Like I said, I think this line is set personally way too low. So love it there for number 2 pick, guys. We got Jake Ferguson over 51.5 receiving yards here for the Dallas Cowboys, minus 114 odds on FanDuel. Okay, and finally at number 3, we're going Jordan Love, over 235.5 passing yards here for the Green Bay Packers. We're going minus 111 odds here on DraftKings, risking a unit here. Really like the look here on Mr. Jordan Love. Obviously up against this Cowboys defense that we just mentioned is complete dog water. They cannot stop the pass at all. At least they haven't been able to. If you can't stop Russell Wilson, who can you stop? I don't think it's going to be Jordan Love. You're not going to stop him. So if the Cowboys could even be relatively competitive, which I think they could be, the spread even indicates they can be relatively competitive at the 6.5. And what I mean by relatively competitive, like within 3 touchdowns. I think they could do that. I think, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I think the Packers win it by a couple touchdowns. But this is still a pro football team. They should be able to be somewhat competitive. But even still, I really like the spot for Jordan Love. Cowboys obviously ranked 32nd in passing yards allowed per game to quarterbacks, so that's obviously very good. Love is just 1 for 3 this season, but he just played the Browns last week, where come on, we weren't expecting him to throw for 400 versus the Browns in Cleveland. I mean, he could have thrown for 200. He threw for 183, but that was a really tough defense last week. That's nothing like what he's playing this week. I think, for one, the atmosphere in Cleveland kind of just always just involves the defense usually. It's the dog pound. The Browns defense plays so good there. So Cowboys defense does not play well at home. They over the last few years, that has not been a thing. We've known this to be true just from watching the Cowboys. So I think Love will have a lot of airing it out in this game. And obviously, I think the Packers are going to be mad. I really do. So I think they might run it up on the Cowboys. And Love might keep throwing anyway, just because they're mad. And because it's Mike Parsons' revenge game. You never know. The Packers, they could be up by 28 and still throwing the ball. I could see a scenario where that happens. I really could. 272 passing yards last time he played the Cowboys. So I like seeing that. So like I said, the defense is even worse now. So we should see him get close to 300 for sure. I definitely like the potential for him to get up in that range. And I think Dak can keep Jordan Love, like I said, throwing a bit here. Dak's having a great season. The Cowboys aren't, but Dak has really played pretty well for the most part. So I think Dak can keep Jordan Love throwing a bit here with his down the field throwing as well. And hopefully keeping the Cowboys somewhat, like I said, competitive. Nothing crazy, though. We still want the Pack to obviously want the Pack to cover, but we want the Cowboys to not be losing 38-0 at halftime and Love sitting on like 200 yards and he doesn't throw it at all in the second half. That could happen. I mean, those things have happened in the past, but hopefully, obviously, that doesn't happen. But do love it there for number 3 pick, guys. We're going Jordan Love over 235.5 passing yards here for the Green Bay Packers, minus 111 odds here on DraftKings. And then, guys, our same game parlay. We don't have our for the sweep because there's not really a lot of value on that. But our same game parlay plus 1,800 odds on Fanatics with our 50% profit boost that they give us for this game. They should be giving pretty much everybody that boost. So you guys should be able to take advantage of that. Jake Ferguson, anytime touchdown. You guys know why I like that. The last time he played the Pack, he caught 3 tutties. And the Pack are 19th in defense versus position as far as that goes. Romeo Dobbs, anytime touchdown for the Pack. Same idea, right? 1 out of 3 this season, but the Cowboys are 32nd D versus P, defense versus position, and he had a touchdown last time versus Dallas. Javonte Williams, 4+ catches, again with CD Lamb out. He should get some volume. He has been getting volume anyway. He's had 5 and 6 catches the last 2 weeks, and the Packers are 31st D versus P as well in catches allowed to running back. So I really love those 3 legs. Love the value. Plus 1,800 odds on Fanatics with our 50% profit boost. All right, guys, that is it for our picks. If you guys enjoyed the content, as always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe for me. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers, as always. I feel like I always say that because I do. So we need to get some more subscribers. Let's get that count up, guys. I appreciate you guys, though. Just having a little bit of fun. But hope you guys enjoy the game. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Let's make some money. And that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.